Who's Reese? Reese is a special kid. Reese is a Terp through and through. I asked her about the recruiting process and she said, I could never picture myself anywhere but here. She's one of the best Terps inside and out.
Dawn and I have always been very involved in sports. Once we graduated college, we continued to go to tailgates. At that time, Coach Friesen was the coach. Crowds were chaotic and it was a sellout. Once we had Reese and our son Trey, we then began to take them to them and kind of indoctrinated them to the Maryland pride for the football games.
As a kid, I was always very energetic, loved flipping around in my house, and we actually had a close family friend. Her name's Megan Porterfield, and she was a gymnast. After my parents talked to her parents, they convinced us to put me in gymnastics since it was only a 2-minute drive from my house. It was very convenient and easy for us to go to.
Frederick Gymnastics started at level 5, and she just continued to move through the different levels. She actually was doing so well, she skipped level 6. And as soon as she started getting to level 9 and 10, there was some interest in her from colleges.
She was a great gymnast in the state of Maryland, so obviously we always knew who she was, but we're trying to identify these talented kids that are obviously great gymnasts, but that are more than that. She came to summer camp since she was tiny, and you just knew that she was special. You could just see it. She was a different type of kid. She had that winning instinct. I mean, even since she was little at camp, she would try to win the handstand contest or be the most outstanding gymnast of the week. Like, she was always a winner since she was a little kid.
Being recruited at Maryland was a very exciting experience for the whole family. When Brett and Aaron and JJ approached us with the possibility of being a college gymnast at Maryland, we were super excited. We weren't quite sure how to react.
We offered her a scholarship to the University of Maryland, and I can picture it. We were in the locker room, and for such a young kid, she played it so cool. You know, she was, thank you, I'm honored, and I'll think about it and kind of get back to you. But you know who didn't play it cool was her father, and Cash, he's gonna kill me for this, but he cried right there in the locker room. And Reese says he cried the whole ride home.
I cried out of pride. Reese worked really hard to get where she was. And for her to get a free scholarship for education, as a parent, you can't expect anything else.
She brings so much more to the table than just her gymnastics. Her gymnastics is incredible, and when she leaves Maryland, she'll leave as one of the best gymnasts in program history. But her lasting impact will be helping us raise the bar as the standard of our program, the culture we've built here, and the kind of teammate that she was.
Her transition from high school to college has been very easy for us. Brett has made it very family-oriented. It's taught her to learn to be an adult.
She's far enough away that she's independent and, lives on her own. They're in apartments, they're cooking and dealing with their own finances and things like that. And I think Maryland's support system with the educational support and the support of her coaches has just been amazing. They truly are a family.
Reese has grown a lot. She came in as a freshman and wide-eyed and really outgoing. She's still outgoing, but she's that calm and confident leader. Reese is a great leader because of her deep passion for Maryland gymnastics. She's living for it. She works hard for it every day. She breathes for it. Everyone around her can feel it. She's ferocious. I mean, she wants to win everything. She wants to be as close to perfect as she can. And she really thrives off of that intensity of competition. So anytime we're in a meet situation, if the pressure's on, I want the meet to be in her hands because that's where she's comfortable, and that's how she leads us.